Before I break your neck, there is one thing I must ask you.
Stay out of my way.
I don't recall giving you permission to speak.
He's actually so cold of it.
Answer my
He's so
question.
cold of it.
That is all you have left to do. Flame Emperor. No. Edelgard. Tell me now.
He's so cold of it.
Why did you cause such a tragedy? You killed your own mother, and yet you haven't even had the decency to stop and consider the reasons behind your actions. Have you?
I already told you I had nothing to do with that.
It was foolish to think I could reason with a lowly beast.
Your Majesty, now!
You are a monster.
Come, Hubert.
To flee is futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the holy tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
This is going to be all new for me from here on.
We weren't able to defeat her.
No, I'd say you were
Highness.
very close to it.
I will kill Edelgard with my own hands. I swear it. Let's return to the monastery, Professor. It is clear what must be done.
So, he's finally shown his true face. The same Dimitri I've seen once before. A beast who loves spilling blood.
You're wrong. I'm sure of it. There has to be an explanation.
I knew he'd been carrying the burden of that tragedy. I understand his thirst for revenge. His family and closest friends, all massacred right in front of him. But it still doesn't add up. There must be more that we don't know.
That's true. Dimitri didn't come unhinged until after the Flame Emperor was unmasked.
You don't
Yeah?
think there's some connection between those two, do you?
Somewhat.
The leaders of the church have misused its creed to fulfill their true desire. To rule the world. They have fooled the people of Fodlan. Long ago, they divided the Empire to create a kingdom. And then, divided that kingdom to create an alliance. They did all of this to make the masses bicker amongst themselves. They caused instability in order to reinforce their own authority. They gathered gold and lived in extravagance. How? By preying on the devotion of those who wished for the goddess's salvation. Those corrupt hypocrites cannot lead Fodlan to true peace. Their foul belief system must be torn asunder so that true wisdom may finally prevail. And so, I have decided, by order of the Adrestian Emperor, Edelgard von Hresvelg, the Empire hereby declares war on the Church of Seros.
I cannot believe it. Let us recount the situation as it stands, Professor. After you returned from the Holy Tomb, the Adrestian Empire declared war upon the Church of Seros, as well as our allies.
Crazy.
Edelgard demanded her own father relinquish the throne, and then assumed the position of Emperor. She has deemed the Church of Seros to be an evil of this world, and is calling upon the people of Fodlan to help her tear it down. I must discuss our response to this declaration with the Archbishop, after the Knights return from their investigation. Until then, watch over the students. See that they remain calm.
Professor, the Empire has declared war on the Church of Seros.
We knew this day would come, sooner or later.
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
We can't afford to be optimistic. It's entirely possible the kingdom will be invaded.
Settle yourself, Ingrid. We need to carefully consider our options.
We can't just act rashly. That will only make things worse.
Once we've ascertained the situation, we must return to Ferdiad. Your Highness.
That was a crazy skit. I needed my parkour again. Oh no, my parkour now!
Part 1. White Clouds. Lone Moon. To War. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky, a silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
Okay. Now we keep going through it.
Unforgivable! I cannot fathom that the Adrestian Empire would embark on such a violent course of action.
The fault is my own. I failed to see the wickedness within Edelgard's heart.
You okay?
She plotted with ill-meaning strangers to achieve her own ambitions and defiled the Holy Tomb. If that is not wicked, what is? Or perhaps her ambitions are even grander than we know. Perhaps she is planning to make herself a false deity by demonizing the Church of Seros.
Adrestia received its very name through a divine oracle. To injure the goddess is a sin most foul that shall not be forgiven nor forgotten. We must stop the Empire, and quickly.
I have returned, Rhea.
Welcome back, Shamir. Were you able to discern the Empire's movements?
Their main troops are marching towards Garreg Mach. It is said that they will join forces with Edelgard's army and arrive within 2 weeks.
2 weeks? That is not enough time. It will require all of our efforts just to prepare our defenses before then. We must send notice to all surrounding villages at once. We must order the residents of Garreg Mach to flee for their lives.
It will be done.
Bye, Shamir.
Professor, listen closely. If our enemy invades the monastery, I will have no choice but to stand upon the battlefield. If something happens to me, I am entrusting my sacred duties to you.
Why me?
You must have guessed it by now. The truth of who you are. Or perhaps I should say, your lost memories are surely beginning to return. I have acted all these long years as a mere proxy for you. But the duty is yours, and yours alone. Only you can lead the people of Fodlan.
Rhea, please. You must tell me all that you know. I beg of you. That one is the Progenitor god. Am I correct?
In a sense.
Which one?
Our dear professor is a vessel. One who carries the power of the Progenitor god within. In time, the vessel will become one with the power contained within, and the Progenitor god shall return to this world.
I see. I trust that you are aware of the questionable nature of this experiment. But I suppose there is no turning back.
I ask that you help our friend. And in doing so, help her I am waiting and hoping for the moment when our creator rules this wayward land once more.
I understand. As ever, I will take you at your word.
Lady Rhea, brother, I will do my part as well.
Flame, were you eavesdropping? Regardless, I am glad to hear it. You owe your life to the Professor, after all. And in the end, they may prove to be our brethren.
You have my gratitude, Seteth. And you as well, Flame. As followers of the Progenitor God, it is up to us to see our mission through.
Okay. Scary. Right, that's... I think we should go. I think so, unless we can buy some more, Ah, yes. I'll buy some more advances. Certification. Let's get... Hold on. Do I even put them on it? Oh, wait, no. That's a wait. How many supports do we have? 21. Let's listen to the supportants.
Flame, what's that you're hiding?
Oh no, my surprise is spoiled. I had brought some fruits for you to cut up in addition to the firewood. I thought some variation might prove amusing.
No, I'm not doing that again. I've got better uses for my sword than chopping up fruit and firewood.
I cannot imagine what could be better than chopping fruit.
Chopping up my enemies.
You say that as though you have many enemies. So you would rather chop people than firewood, is that it?
That's not how I'd put it, but a blade's purpose is to kill. To chop wood, use an axe. To chop food, use a knife. It's simple.
Surely it is not forbidden to use your sword for other things, like chopping fruit. Swords that cut inanimate objects are serving a much finer purpose than those that cut living beings.
What a noble sentiment. But without a blade to cut down your enemies, you cannot win. Those who are weak lose everything and they die. Those who are strong win and live on. I understand why you balk at bloodshed, but you must know that it has a purpose.
And what purpose might that be?
Let's see.
A purpose. Let's just leave it at that. I'm not in the mood to debate you. I'll continue to wield my sword, and if necessary, cut down my enemies.
He certainly is a stubborn one.
Okay. Ooh, let's get scored. Yes, please.